That feels like heaven, but it's okay. Hey guys, hello. I feel so drained. I'm actually very drained. I'm so tired. I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but okay, we're doing it. Hey guys, I hope everyone is okay. Hey guys. Oh, I'm so shy. Come on, I'm so shy, but it's okay. Hey guys, my name is Penny and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and share the video. And then if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, fam. And I'd just like to apologize for leaving for this long. I think I uploaded my last video 6 months ago, and yeah, I'm so embarrassed, but it's okay. I'm so sorry. I feel like the reason why I haven't been uploading is that I was just not okay. I was going through a lot, and I feel like I started YouTube when I was not in a proper space. I just didn't know that I wouldn't be able to maintain it. So actually I was not ready for YouTube. I feel like I do have the potential to be consistent and uploading often, but I was just not ready to do that when I started this channel. Hence I haven't been uploading. A lot has been happening school-wise, personal issues. A lot has been happening in my life to a point where I had a lot of anxiety. I don't know, I thought I was depressed. Was I depressed? I don't know, but I just couldn't keep up with the content. But now I'm back, and I know I promise consistency in every video, but then I'll just like to promise for the last time, guys. I think I would be consistent, but then my consistency would mean uploading 1 video per month. And yeah, so what happened is that the reason why I'm actually back, it's because of this Lena. So there's this Lena. So I'm part of the Medical Students Council for 2024, and then we were kind of like facilitating orientation for first year students. So this student, let me not say Lena, they are students. So this student came up to me and he was like, oh, are you Penny? I watch your YouTube channel. I really love it, but I'm so sad you stopped uploading, you know, and everything around that. And I was literally like, oh my gosh, like it hit at the right place, I would say. I was literally like, oh my god, so people are actually watching my channel and I'm sleeping on that. People are actually looking up to my videos and I'm sleeping on that. Hence I'm back, and I would really love to be consistent, and I've prayed about it. I've even put it up on my vision board for 2024 that God, consistency on my channel this year. Please give me the energy and please put me in a better space to actually create content, because there are a lot of people who actually need to hear what I've got to say. And yeah. But then enough about that. Let me not ramble and just get straight to the video. This video is actually aimed for or to matriculants, you know. So if you know your cousin is doing matric, your sister, your brother, please lead them to this video, because I feel like they need to hear this. So in this video, I'm going to speak about 8 tips, 8 secrets that top students never tell you. You see a learner in class, this student is getting 90s. This learner is actually doing so great. You're asking yourself, what does this student have that I don't have? What does this student do that I don't do? I mean, like, I study hard, I put my all, I come to school every day, I'm always in class, I'm well behaved, but I just can't be on the same level with this student. You wanna know why? This student actually has secrets. These students actually have secrets that they won't tell you. And if you go up to these students, they're gonna be like, oh, just study, but there are actually some secrets that they want. It's not because they don't want to, it's just their habits, it's just something that they do. And yeah, and I'm saying this because I was one of those students. I'm not breaking or anything, guys. I'm just saying the reason why I'm advising is because I was one of those students, you know. So I'm a good person, and I'm not gonna sleep on information. I'm gonna share, and also because I feel like the information is no longer relevant to me. If you're a top student and I'm kind of like exposing you guys or anything, I'm sorry, but other learners have to know 8 secrets that matric learners do, matric top learners do, and won't tell you. So tip number 1, being intentional and setting goals. You know, I put this tip as the first tip because this tip is actually closest to my heart, and I feel like this is not only for matriculants. Actually, this tip shouldn't go to matriculants, it should go to any student, any learner, or anybody. Okay, let me say any student or any learner, high school, varsity. Being intentional and setting goals. I feel like maybe I'm different or I'm obsessed with productivity, but I feel like I've always been that learner from primary, guys. That's so crazy. Like from primary, I've always been a person who plans. I plan my whole life, I plan my whole day. I'm that delusional, you know. I'll be like, oh, you know, like I plan my future, I plan. And I know we plan, God decides, but if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail also. So you can't say I'm not planning because God is in control of my life whatsoever, because I feel like a plan gives you direction in life, basically. So I'm a person who is obsessed with things like productivity, planning, and everything. Hence I'm big on this point, being intentional and planning. So back to my matriculants, guys. You in matric, you can't just start the year. You in matric, you can't just go through the year without knowing what you want. Okay, I feel like matric is a crucial year to a point whereby this year is supposed to actually determine your future. So you have to be wise about it, you have to plan, you have to be intentional, set intentions. What do you want, basically? Okay, so yeah, I just have these points on my paper so I don't forget to speak about anything. So I'm going to speak about planning. So right now you're gonna be intentional. Intentions are more like, everyone knows intentions, guys. You're more like, you know, I want to put my all in this, you know. Be intentional. I don't know how to explain this, but it'll come back. Right now, let me talk about goal setting. So I love making videos according to what I did, but I'm not saying do what I did, but then I'm just gonna explain my story of how intentional I was with my matric year and how I actually set my goals. So when I was in matric, what happened is that I knew what I wanted. I didn't know that I want medicine. I think I said this in my previous videos, and I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know that I want medicine, but I knew that the career that I want needs me to get 7 distinctions. I knew that I actually want to do very well in matric, that I don't have to look back with regret. I knew that, yeah, I just knew a lot of things, you know. As much as I wasn't like specific about what I want. I wasn't like, you know, I want to be a doctor, I want to go to vet, but I knew what I want. I knew collectively what I don't know how to explain this actually. I knew I had to get 7 distinctions. I knew I wanted to go national. I knew I wanted to go provincial. I knew I wanted to go to top universities in South Africa. That can be Wits, UCT. If not, if I fail, I knew I wanted to go to UP. You know, I had options. I knew what I wanted and I knew what I would not want. And I was preventing regret. And I knew I wanted to do my best. I feel like intentions and goal setting is much more like similar concepts, so I put them all together. It's more like having intentions and setting my goals. What I did when I was in my matric year was to actually I sat down and thought about my capabilities. This is what I want you to do. Sit down, think about what you're capable of. you know you're an average learner. This video is not for top students only, actually. And actually it's not for top students, because I'm giving you secrets that top students do. Top students are intentional. But then, okay, back to the point. I sat down, I thought of myself, what I'm capable of, what I've been obtaining in my past grades in grade 11, 10, and yeah. And I was like, you know what? I can do it. I've been getting 7 distinctions in all my grades, then why not in matric? And if I was getting those good marks in my previous grades, then I can most definitely go national or provincial in matric, you know? And I just thought, I sat down and actually planned this nicely. And you're sitting there, you're getting your 40s, you're sitting there, you're in your 30s, you're sitting there, you're in your 50s. There's hope. You can take your 50 to a 60 or even a 70. You can take your 60 to an 80. There is hope, only if you plan and set your goals nicely. Because the goal planning actually shows you where you are. So you're gonna sit down and say, where am I now? Am I an average student? Am I a top student? Or am I struggling, you know? And sit down, write down all your subjects. No, oh, mathematics, I've been, you know, I'm in my 40s here, and know what you're capable of. You know you're in your 40s, but you haven't been studying. You know you're in your 40s, and if you put in the work, you can go to your 60s. You know what you're capable of. So set your goals, and write your current, where you are now, and then next to that, write your capability. That is like, I'm speaking about marks actually. Like, okay, right now you're in your 40s. What are you capable of? A 70. And be realistic. I feel like in matric is a year whereby you should know yourself actually. Know yourself, know what you're capable of. Be realistic. You can't say, you know, I'm capable of getting a 90, knowing very well you're struggling to get a 50. Better just start now and say, you know what, I want an 80, okay? I want a distinction for life sciences accounting, and I'm in my 50s now, but I can't jump from a 50 to a 90. I can jump from a 50 to a 70. Let me take that jump first, because you're gonna plan in blocks. So every block you're gonna plan. You're gonna let me not say block every term. So term 1, after getting your results, you're gonna make a new plan and set new intentions that, okay, I've improved, or I haven't improved, I need to change 1, 2, and 3. I'm telling you, people who did well in matric, people who went provincial and national, people who improved big time, people who took their 30s to their 70s, actually planned it and were intentional about it, that, you know what, this can be. I'm taking my 30 to a 70. So, dear learner, do that today. Secret number 2, or should I say tip number 2, whatever, it's okay. Start early, start now. I'm actually very grateful that I'm shooting this video now, because it's still at the beginning of the year. I feel like I should have actually shot the video earlier, maybe in January, but then you're in your term 1 right now. It's still early, and I'm advising you to start studying now, start paying attention now, start working hard now, because you can't start studying during your trial examinations and I expect a big improvement in your results. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying if you're intentional, be safe and start now. So guys, I'm Betty, and I just want to say something in my language. So kasi Betty re. So I did Sepedi home language in high school, and gone are those days, and I was so good in my language, guys. And I just want to say a proverb that is actually close to my heart regarding this whole conversation. So Rejibicha Diema. I know some of you won't understand, but then Kasipeji Rere Tloga e tloga hale Modisha di homu ujanacho shaking. What does that mean? So that means start now. Okay, the homu, you guys know, they are cows. Mudisha, it's the person who takes care of the cows. Shaking, it's where the cows stay. So let me not explain the first part, because it's kind of like complicated. So it's more like the person who takes care of the cows actually starts heading the cows from where they stay until wherever they are going. Are they going to the river, wherever they are going to feed for the day? The person actually starts with them from their starting point to their final destination. So yeah, I want it to be the same with you. Start now. You can't start in the middle of the year. You'd be so confused. Start early. Because what happened, as I said, I like explaining concepts, relating them to myself. Because all these things worked for me. And I feel like, yeah. So I did my matric in 2020. It was COVID. And COVID actually disturbed everything because I was so intentional. I started early, I started studying, and then COVID disturbed the whole process. But then when we went back to school, I never lost the momentum. I continued studying to a point whereby by the time I was writing my final exam, I did the bed. Sorry guys. So I'm saying I studied so hard during the year to a point whereby when I was writing my trial examinations, my final examinations, I did the bare minimum. I'm not saying I didn't study, but all I did was pass papers and brushing off some few concepts, So I wanted to do the same. I studied a lot until my trial exam. So when I was writing trial, I was like, okay, this is my trial. This is my last, this is where I'm supposed to see if I'm ready for finals. So I can't be slacking. That's what I did. I studied for my trial examination a lot, and I'd say I studied from the beginning of the year actually until my trial examination a lot, to a point whereby by the time I was writing final, I didn't have to sit down on a desk and really stress or study. So I was sure that you got this distinction in this subject, in this subject, in this subject, in this subject, and to actually increase that mark, what do you have to do for this final? So it was me correcting my mistakes. Hence I say start early. Advantages of studying early: you get to see your mistakes, you get to see where you're struggling, basically. So you get to say, okay, Nkare maths, it's going down, Nkare physics, it's going down. Because firstly, you're going to write your term 1 test, you're going to write your June exam. We didn't get the privilege to do that in 2020. Oh my gosh. But then you are very lucky, you're privileged. You're going to write your term 1 test, you're going to write your June exam, you're going to write, I don't know if there's any other exam, and then you're going to write your trial. You have a lot of chances to actually improve. Hence, I say start early. On to secret number 3. So secret number 3 is compromising. I'm not gonna define this word, and I'm sure you all know what compromising is, but then if you don't know, please check it up in the dictionary or just Google the word. I'm not gonna define it because I'm gonna explain this word in this context actually. So you have to be aware that you're in matric. How are you aware that you're in matric? I feel like when you were young, not really young, but I feel like we still got time to play. When you were in grade 11, you probably loved reading. You played soccer, you had a lot of friends, you had a bubbly social life, you were out there, of which it's not wrong. Because I feel like that's what actually brings life. That's what actually keeps our mental health sane. But now you have to recognize that this is the most crucial year of your life. You have to compromise. You have to cut on the things that you love. Actually, this secret, that's what I'm like, actually, top students will never tell you all these things. You just have to know that, what, I have to compromise. They'll never tell you. And because I love you, I'm telling you this now. In my matric year, I compromised on a lot. So compromising, it's all about cutting on hobbies that you loved, to actually give your studies more time. That's what I did. I loved reading. I don't know, I think I didn't read the whole year. My matric year, I never read. Maybe I read during that COVID break, but when we were back to school, I never read books for fun. The only books that I was reading was my school books, my study guides. I wasn't just reading for fun. And also I feel like my friendships also started going down because of that, of which, guys, it's just for a year. It's all about knowing priorities. You're just compromising for that year, and it'll pay off. Trust me, it'll pay off nicely. So please compromise. Cut on things that actually take your time. Cut on hobbies to focus on school. It's only for a year. Yeah, I feel like I speak a lot. I hope I'm making sense. I really hope I'm making sense, because yeah, I feel like I speak a lot. I think maybe it's because I just came back from the hospital and I'm just so tired, and I hope I'm not forgetting any point, and I hope I'm making my point clear. and I hope everyone gets what I'm trying to say. Because now we're coming to secret number 4. So secret number 4 is using appropriate study material. I feel like this is one tip that I was a top student, but I didn't know this one. I don't know what kind of top students knew this tip. I don't know what kind of, I don't know. I didn't know this, and I feel like I betrayed myself. In matric, just like varsity actually, you have to know what study material is actually appropriate to use and more efficient. Because there are a lot of study guides. If I can name them, I won't finish. And I'm not trying to promote any study guide here. I'm not going to promote any study guide. But I'm going to promote the ones that I actually used. It's not a paid partnership, guys. I'm just going to put them up here for the subjects that I did. So I'm going to talk about the importance of using a good book in matric. Firstly, there's no time in matric. You have to manage your time wisely. You have to use it wisely. You can't be reading a useless life science book, not really useless, but a book that won't help you understand the information. You have to find a study guide that makes studying easier, that explains concepts easier. I'm not sure if you get my point. So what happened is that when in life science actually, I had the Unsigned series. It's good. I'm not saying Unsigned series is not good. The Unsigned series is good. Still is good. I think it's part 1 and part 2. Most people used it and still do use it. But then when I found a better book, what is it? Archive? Or what is it? When I found a better book, this green, I think it was Archive, yeah. I actually realized, because that book actually explained, I don't know why I say actually a lot, but it's fine. That book explained life science properly, the way that I wanted it to. Hence I'm like, yeah, it explained life science the way that I wanted it to. But guess what? I only found out about that book when I was going to write my trial exam. How sad. The whole year I've been using that study guide that had a lot of content, was difficult to understand, only to find there's this book here that is really, really, really easy. Hence, I'm going to emphasize finding proper study material. So what happened is that in physical sciences, my sister is a physics teacher, so I was more privileged, because I used to use her books. I used to actually not really steal them, but when she's home with the books, I would use them, the books that she uses to teach. And surprisingly, now the books are available at schools, because I've never seen anyone using that kind of study guide. I even forgot the name of the study guide, but I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna put the pictures of the study guide that I used for both physics and chemistry. Surprisingly, my brother is in matric now and has those books. So now they are available in stores, because they were very hard to find in stores. They're available in stores, and I don't think they are that popular. And now I'm gonna promote them. The reason why I got a 96% in physical sciences, and I was actually aiming for 100%, is because of those books. I don't want to waste time on this tip, this secret, because yeah. So just get yourself that book and you'll see what I'm talking about. Life sciences, I used Archive, as I said. I'm gonna put it up here. Accounting, I didn't use any accounting study guide. So for accounting, I just had a good teacher. Lucky me. I had a good teacher for accounting, and I used a lot of past papers for accounting. So I cannot really advise on accounting, on the book that you use for accounting. If you know a proper study guide for accounting, please put it up in the comment section, comment. And then so it's life science, it's physics, it's accounting. So for mathematics, yeah, when it comes to maths, I used a lot of books. Oh no, mathematics, I'm gonna put up a handbook. I think that is the most relevant book that I'll put up now. I used a lot of books in maths because I was struggling very, but then the handbook, oh my gosh, I started using it in grade 10 and it actually got me through maths. So I'm gonna put up a handbook here. It's quite costly, but then please get yourself a maths handbook. And then yeah, I think that's all. So find proper study material, and also I'm not saying use the study material that I used. If you know of any study material, please comment in the comment section. This is a safe space. We're gonna interact. I'm gonna reply to your comment, guys. Please comment with that study guide in the comment section, and yeah, let's help another child. Now coming to tip number 5, proper study techniques. Also, I won't spend a lot of time on this secret. Actually, secret number 5, I won't spend a lot of time on this secret because yeah, this is a very challenging one. You know, there are a lot of study techniques, I'm sure you guys know: making flashcards, mind maps, watching videos, or yeah, name them all. We all study in different ways, and I feel like the study method that you're gonna be in matric is something that you've been using from grade 10, grade 11. That's what I did basically. But then I'll just like to talk to students who don't know how to study, basically, who don't know where to start, or realize that their study method is not working, their study technique is not working. What I did personally, I'll speak about what I did and what I feel like other top students do. So what I did is that I'll study the material. This is what we call bletting. I actually didn't know it's bletting until I got to varsity, and you know, Instagram is speaking about this active recall, bletting, whatsoever, best study method. And to think I've been doing this since high school, I've been actively recalling, I've been bletting. So I'm just gonna advise you today, please use active recall and bletting. If you're not studying by active recall, you're definitely not doing anything. I'm sorry to say this. Active recall comes in many ways. Flashcards, using flashcards is active recall because you'll be using the flashcards to actually actively recall the information. So what I did, but I was bletting a lot. So what I did is that I would open whatever study guide that I'm using or whatever notes that we did, and then I would study close, and then write everything that I could remember, So at the same time, I'm just writing, so I'm bletting and actively recalling, and then I would open and see what I left out and connect the missing dots. Sometimes I would like write a set of questions as I'm studying, and then I'll close the book and then try to answer those questions. When I'm done and confident that I've answered them well, I'll open the book and start I'll open the book and start marking for myself, basically. And that applies with theory-based subjects. So now I'm gonna talk about subjects that are mathematical, basically, like maths, accounting. So with that, I used a lot of past papers, which brings me to tip number 6: past papers. Guys, you cannot sleep on this. If you're in matric and you don't know the importance of past papers, please go back to grade 11. Please go back to grade 8, actually, because I feel like even in grade 11 you have to use past papers to actually study for your tests. Please go back, because guys, past papers are very important. I don't know, even in university right now, I cannot go to an exam without doing past papers. No matter how much I've studied, I rather stop studying and do a past paper. That's how much past papers are important. Please do past papers. Rather stop studying, because either way you had the whole time to learn the work. So now you want to study the work in the last minute. Rather stop studying and do a past paper. Benefits of actually doing past papers. I feel like I'm repeating the same things because I made this kind of video on Selling Legos YouTube channel. I'm gonna plug it here, and please go watch this video. I actually did the video in first year, and maybe it's more relevant than now because it's been years since I've been out of school, and maybe I'm speaking irrelevant things, you know. Benefits of doing past papers: you get to time yourself. You get to see how long an exam can take you. Because imagine you're writing a 3-hour final exam and you don't finish. Do you know that pain? To prevent it, practice using past papers and put a timer. Know how long each question takes you. Firstly, the structure of a past paper does not change, guys. Chemistry question 1 will always be organic chemistry. Physics question 1 will always be Newton's law of motion. They will never change. So you have to know, firstly you have to know which question you're gonna start with, because last time I wrote matric, like in 2020, we had the freedom to actually start with every question. If your teachers haven't told you this, please know that in matric you can start with any question. You can start with question 17 or whatever question it is. The question that you're confident in, you can start with it. So past papers actually give you that guide. Which question am I gonna start with? Which question am I gonna end with? You know? And then will I complete this exam in 3 hours? If not, what is preventing me from completing in 3 hours, and can I change that, and what can I do to change that? I'm not sure if you guys get the logic around that. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that really well, but I really hope I am, because I'm just speaking a lot. But then firstly, gives you a direction of how much time you take to answer a question, gives you a direction of which question you're gonna start with. And for people who want to get 300 out of 300 in physics, maths, whatever paper, people who want to get total, it gives them a direction of which question they should start with, which is the most difficult question when they're still fresh, and how are they gonna manipulate everything around that. I'm not sure if you get my point. Secret number 7 / tip number 7. So this one is closest to my heart too. I don't know why I put it on number 7, because it should be number 1. Have confidence in your capabilities. Have confidence in yourself. If you can ask every top student, there are some students who are literally getting like 300 out of 300, and then they are literally just so quiet in class. I'm telling you, those people have self-confidence. Their self-confidence is beyond, I cannot even talk about it, because they know, like, no learner could get total by mistake. Okay, it can be by mistake. You weren't thinking of getting total, but you knew you have a distinction, then it ends up you're going national or provincial. But I'm telling you, they know, no ways mathematics, I've got a distinction. They know. So I'm telling you now, have confidence in yourself. You have got this. I have done it. It's not that it looks difficult from the outside, but then it is difficult in the inside. From the outside, when you are out, you actually realize it was difficult. You worked hard for it, but that was actually easier than what you're going through now when you're in university. It is difficult, I don't want to lie, but it's not difficult at the same time. What am I saying? I don't know how to actually put this. Matric is all about knowing what to do. You need to know what to do. You need to put in the work, and everything will be easy. You'll have a smooth path, and that year goes by really quickly. So what I'm trying to say is confidence should be part of them. No, just know, or you know what, nah, pay me, nah, I'm going to get 7 distinctions. Like, tell yourself no when you're going through the year. No, I feel like when you know, any obstacle that comes your way is not gonna pin you down. Like, it won't bring you down, it won't shift you away from your goals. It won't, because you have your head up high. I'm telling you, I got a level 5 in maths for my trial examination, but then I got a 90 in my final examination, because I knew, as much as I cried about it and I was doubting myself, it was that thing like, I have all the self-confidence within me. Like, I knew that I have to get the distinction, and I'm capable. So please just have confidence in yourself. You're in your 30s now. You want to do this kind of career. You want to qualify for 1, 2, and 3. And you can see yourself. You know you're capable. Have confidence in yourself and just do the right things. I feel like matric goes wrong if you do the wrong things. If you know the right things to do, which are the secrets that I'm telling you now. I have confidence in the secrets, guys. Which are the secrets that I'm telling you now? I'm telling you, there's no way you can go wrong. And then off to the last tip. God, this actually should be the first tip, but I put it last because I want to close off with it. Actually, please pray. I feel like this is actually not one of the secrets, because I'm sure some top students don't pray. But I'm sure their mothers pray for them, their family prays for them. But then, girl, boy, no, God is capable. I feel like in my matric year, I didn't have God that much in my life, but I wouldn't say I wasn't praying, but I didn't have God that much, and it showed how I let pressure get to me. I had all the anxiety. I was always worried, to a point where I lost a lot of weight and I got sick. Yeah. So, but then when I look back, I realized that God did a lot of things for me in matric. God pulled through for me, because I wouldn't have made that jump in mathematics if it wasn't for God. I wouldn't have got 7 distinctions, all 90s in my subjects, my lowest mark being 90%. If it wasn't for God, God did it. God did it all. It's all His grace. And sometimes I feel like I felt like I'm undeserving, because I wasn't praying, like I didn't pray for all this. Yes, I prayed internally. I was like, God, I want this, but I wasn't having communication with him often. But then I realized that actually, God, you need to pray. You need to pray in a sense. Yeah, firstly, you need to ask God to give you that strength to not have fatigue, give you the strength to study even if you don't want to, even if you're not motivated to do so. You need to ask God to give you motivation on your lowest days, to always remind you of the goals that you set. Remember secret number 1, to always remind you of secret number 1, that you have goals that you've set and you need to reach the finish line. You have to remind God that, God, so in my language, so you have to remind God that, God, and sometimes the weapon that you'll be using to bring down that elephant could be weak, could be, yeah, man, you need to, it can break on the way. Even a lot happens in matric, it can break on the way. So you need to remind God. You need to not really remind, because he knows, he's always with you, but then you need to pray about it and tell him to actually strengthen you through any obstacle, through any weapons that are formed up against you. If that weapon that you're gonna be using to bring down that elephant is broken, or it's lost, or you can't find it anymore, to give you a new one, to keep you pushing. Because sometimes you're gonna fail tests, you're gonna fail exams, and you have to pray about it. That doesn't mean you're not capable. I failed maths test in matric and I still got a 90. So girl, boy, pray about it. Because I remember, okay, I'm closing off now, guys. I'm closing off. I hope this video is not like 50 minutes long. I'm closing off. So when I was in matric, that's why I'm like, a lot of things can happen in matric, hence you have to pray. When I was writing my chemistry exam back in 2020, I woke up in the morning and I said, morning of an exam, which is a habit. I won't say break that habit if you study in the morning. Just do it, because I studied until I studied until the door of the exam room. But when I ask my friends, they don't touch books in the morning of the exam. But I studied until the door of the exam room. That's when I put my book down. So what happened is that I was studying in the morning and I was using my stationery. And you know how in matric you have like special stationery for yourself, your calculator and everything. I'm writing chemistry, mind you. Not me forgetting my stationery on the table that I was studying on in the morning. Okay, travel to school only to find out that I don't have my stationery in my bag. And I only found out when they were calling us to enter the exam room. Guys, this is actually a story. I don't want to explain the details around everything, but I would say I had too much ambition for that exam. I knew, like, I had confidence that I was gonna get total. I was gonna get 150 out of 150 in chemistry, because I had prepared. The preparation was very massive, but there's that one thing that actually distracted me. I wrote that exam badly because of that thing. I was actually crying during the exam. I cried and I had a headache because they had to give me a black pen. I don't use a black pen to write. Obviously I had to like make a plan of how to get stationery. I don't use a black pen, but I didn't have a choice. The calculator they gave me the numbers were not visible, guys. Imagine that. Like, who could have thought? It ruined my whole exam. I think that's the reason why I don't have 100% in chemistry, actually. In physics, in physical sciences, it's because of that, actually. So I'm just gonna close off this video and say pray about your studies, pray, and yeah, God has got you. Have confidence in his victories. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you, and I hope my tips actually helped, and I hope I was able to actually say everything I wanted to say, because I just came back from the hospital. I'm so tired, I'm so drained. All I want to do now is sleep, but I hope I was able to bring as much information to you, and I hope you're able to use this information to your advantage, because yeah, and I hope you're able to do the right things, and I hope that everything goes well for you. You achieve the goals that you want, you go to the university that you want next year, you're able to get through this year nicely, you're able to enjoy the year, guys. Like, study, and yeah, I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for watching my video.